Welcome back to another edition of Drop the Mitts Hockey Podcast. Today we have a great guest eligible for this year's draft, University of Michigan commit, and most recently defenseman of the Waterloo Blackhawks, Will Felicio. Will, how you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How you enjoying vacation? I know you had mentioned you were in Nantucket, and man, it's such a beautiful area up there.
Yeah, it was my first time going this weekend, and it was really fun. I mean, I'd never seen it before, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. You play any golf up there or anything?
I haven't. I'm not. I'm usually a big golfer guy, but I haven't really been this summer.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, have you gotten a chance to get out there yet?
I've played probably about like 5 rounds, I'd say.
Okay.
But I don't
How's your
know.
golf game, dude?
I'm like a 10 handicap. I'm all right.
All right. We
Yeah.
can work with that. Nice, man. Like I said, man, I want to congratulate you on your commitment. Obviously, you committed to University of Michigan a couple weeks back. That's huge, man. One of the best hockey schools in the country. Man, tell us what went into that decision. And what drew you to want to be a Wolverine next season.
Yeah, definitely. I think like two big things I look at. My agent kind of first installed it in my head when deciding a school is where I'd develop the most and where I'd have the biggest chance of winning a national championship. And I think after I had a Zoom call and a phone call with Coach Narado for Michigan, they showed me all their analytics and how they play and how they took my clips and how it would fit into their system. And I think it was kind of a no-brainer after I kind of thought to myself after that I think this is the best place that I can develop right now. And just the trust and the relationship that I gained with the coaching staff and a 2-hour Zoom call was really impressive. So
Yeah, and like obviously Michigan has had quite a few defensemen, especially like in recent years. You mentioned, Quinn Hughes, Luke Hughes, Owen Power, Zach Rowensky. Did kind of that track record of Michigan's ability to develop those kind of defensemen have anything to do, like have an impact on your decision?
definitely. I think more like a Seamus Casey and
Yeah,
a Quinn
I was
Hughes.
about to mention him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like, Luke Hughes and Owen Power, they're bigger guys that can use their size. And I feel like, Quinn Hughes and Seamus Casey, they're not the biggest guys, but they know how to, get away with not being big. And I think looking at them and seeing how Michigan plays them, because it's tough for a coach choosing a 5'9" guy over a 6'3" guy. But, with how much they played Casey, yeah, I think it was really interesting to see and kind of just have that level of trust that I could, they're not afraid to use a 5'9" defenseman.
Yeah, like, and you mentioned being like the smaller defenseman. Like, how do you use that to your ability, like to your advantage? Obviously, like you look at any of the scouting reports, like it shows that you're a phenomenal puck moving defenseman. Like, how do you use what people would think is a kind of a downfall? How do you use that to your advantage?
I think like bigger guys kind of just corners and battles and stuff like that, they'll just use their body, where I kind of have to rely on technique and skill to kind of, find a way to maneuver around a guy or steal a puck, because I'm not going to put a guy into the fifth row, probably
Yeah.
ever. But I mean, I feel
Hey,
like
you never know, man.
if I use technique and skill to kind of just find pockets to get into a guy's hands or stuff like that, I think that's like the best way to do it. I work with a guy, Jonathan Siglet, who does a really good job of
Yep.
teaching that in video and everything like that. So it's really helpful.
Yeah, man. In this past season, you started off playing for Madison, for the Capitals. Eventually, you're moved to Waterloo to play for the Blackhawks. Um, Man, what was that adjustment like mid-season? Because obviously, like, with your time at Mount St. Charles, all that, you never really been put in that situation where you're moving halfway through a season. Um,
Mhm.
how do you feel like that impacted your game? Having to move halfway through the season, did it benefit you? Was it a tough adjustment? Like, what was kind of going through your head when you were going through that?
I think it definitely benefited me. Just because like when I was in Madison, I wasn't really happy with how I was playing and my performance. So I thought that a move would be best for me. And I think just having a fresh start with new faces and a new locker room and just a bunch of new stuff it can be really beneficial. And I thought it paid off for me. I think he's a great coach and I really liked him. I think he sets a great job of kind of setting a standard and a culture in the locker room that I've really never seen before. And it was unbelievable. I mean, everyone came to the rink ready to work, and it was the closest group that I've ever played with. We were just hanging out after every day at the rink, but I think playing wise and game wise, it was huge. Because right when I got there, they told me how they wanted me to play how I play, and they didn't want to throw everything onto me where they want me to play a certain way. They just wanted me to go out there and do what I do best to kind of help the team and just do whatever I can to make an impact.
Yeah, did that so in them telling you just to kind of go out and do your thing and do what you do best, did that alleviate a lot of the pressure of going into a new organization and like not having to try to be someone you're not, just kind of doing your thing, playing the way you know how to play?
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, to have a coach be able to work through the speed bumps and the roadblocks that you're going to have is definitely huge, because then you'll realize that they have the trust in you that you're not going to be afraid to turn a puck over trying to make a play. I think turning the puck over is fine, but it's what you do after you turn the puck over is what the big thing is. And I think just them saying that, it kind of let me play loose and free and just kind of took a lot of weight off my shoulder, that it felt good.
Yeah, and man, this is your draft year, right? We're about a month away. Man, what kind of things have you been doing to kind of prep for that? Obviously, the season's over, but as far as now and being the off season, what kind of things are you doing to kind of prep for this?
Yeah, I mean, just working out, training, skating, stuff like that. Like diets, kind of trying to gain more weight, especially because I'm like we talked about, a smaller guy. So I think gaining more weight is definitely big in working out. But yeah, just kind of balancing everything, being in the gym, being on the ice, and then taking your time off to go down to the Cape or go to Nantucket, and just like making a balance of everything, so you still have that kind of motivation to go to the gym every day. Which, like, the guy who I work out with, Charlie Bando, I mean, I love going to him every day and seeing him, and we put in work for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I go out and I hang out with my brothers or sister, and it's fun. I mean, summer's awesome. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, oh, man, I'm so happy it's here. We mentioned some of the Michigan guys. I had mentioned guys like Owen Power, but Seamus Casey, honestly, being a smaller guy, is there anyone currently playing in the NHL that you kind of see yourself in? Just as far as that like smaller defenseman, that's able to move the puck as quick. Like, do you see anyone that's currently playing that you play like?
um, I'm not sure. I've gotten like some people say like Samuel Gerard, and I've had other
That's
people
a
say
that's a
Torrey.
good one, dude.
Yeah, I've also heard people say Torrey Krug, but I kind of think Torrey Krug's a little bit more grittier than I am personally. So I don't know. I mean, I'd like to be like a Quinn Hughes or a Miro Heiskanen, but I mean, those are the best players and the best team in the NHL. So
Yeah.
it's tough, but maybe one day.
Well, especially Miro, man. Like you watch if you watch any of the playoffs now, like that dude is unbelievable. I think
Unbelievable.
he's like solidified himself, I think, as like a top three defenseman. And like honestly, I had Charlie McAvoy ahead of him, but like at this point, man, seeing what Miro does, like he's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's impressive. I think I've watched his first NHL shift. Like, there's a video of it. Like, he just gets the puck, his first time touching the puck, and he goes all the way up and down the ice. And I think
Yeah,
I've
he's
watched that
unbelievable.
probably 15 times.
Yeah, he's unbelievable, dude.
Yeah.
Man, I was speaking of going back and I was watching video of the Holinka Gretzky Cup, man. You were a point per game player, 5 games, 5 points. You had 3 goals, 2 assists in 5 games. Your team took home the bronze, but you had great success and you were definitely noticeable in that tournament. What was your biggest takeaway playing in that tournament, playing against other countries' best teams or best players rather? Yeah, what was your biggest takeaway from that tournament, and what do you think gave you the ability to have so much success?
I think the reason I had that success was the guys I was playing with. I mean, playing with guys like Connolly and Kleber and just players who are, the best at their position. I think it made my job a lot easier. But I mean, the coaching staff, I had a relationship with Strand before the tournament. Just, talking to him. And I think he's an unbelievable coach. I really liked him, and I like the rest of the coaching staff. But I think the way we played that tournament really helped me and benefited me. and they kind of set a standard like how like Waterloo did, just play the way you play, and we'll be here for the roadblocks. We get it's only a 5-game tournament, but it's a pretty big tournament, and I think that was huge for me to kind of go out there and just play the way I play.
Yeah, I mean, did it kind of give you like a better idea of like where you stood as far as like your peers go, like across the whole all countries, right? And like you having this success, like did this kind of give you a little bit of like a boost of confidence that like, hey, I can play at this high level?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did. But I never really thought of it that way, because you still have the NTDP guys. You have guys like Cole
Yeah,
Hudson and
yeah,
Hensler and people like that, and Rayom. Like they're still unbelievable players, and they kind of just you have confidence, but you also remember like there's still another list to go up with. And
yeah.
I mean, I don't think points is the biggest thing, but I think just the way you play and everything will get figured out.
Yeah, 100%, man. We mentioned before a lot of the scouting reports, puck moving defensemen, how smart you are defensively. Um, what areas of your game would you say you take the most pride in? I mean, uh, realistically, you want to take pride in all areas of your
Yeah.
game, right? But like specifically, is there anything that you think you're more gifted at than other things? And then to kind of caveat off that, what are some areas that you want to work on this off season as you enter your freshman season at Michigan?
Yeah, I definitely think my like offensive zone is what I'm best at. My transition game, and I think that's the two areas that I'm best at, and what I can show the most. And I think places I need to work on are my defensive zone and kind of just my positioning. Not getting caught too low and learning how to join at the right time and everything. And you can't join every time. You want to pick your spots because I mean you're gonna leave your partner out to dry, but I think, yeah, just D zone and positioning is what I think I need to work on the most, and just kind of doing video with that and going to like 3v3. I think is a great thing to work on stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, like, what type of things do you like? How do you work on something like that? Because obviously it's in game play, but you mentioned video and 3-on-3. Are those like two of the main ways that you're kind of trying to watch yourself and pick up on these things?
Yeah, definitely. I think stuff like that, or like going to like doing like a 5v5 game for fun, or 4v4 stuff like that. And then like if I want to, the guy that I work with, Jonathan Siglet, if I want to see oh, I want to see Quinn Hughes's defensive breakups. Like he'll say like, all right, give me 24 hours, and he'll come back with like a 15-minute video of all
Wow,
Quinn Hughes's breakups
that's
this
unreal,
season.
man.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
He's really good at his job.
he's
But
a former Bruin, right? Or he used to play in like Providence, I'm pretty sure.
I think he did. His brother was a
Yeah,
goalie.
yeah, yes.
Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So
That's
I
unreal,
know
man.
that.
So on a whim, 24 hours, he can get you all this footage, and
Mhm.
you're able to kind of pick apart where what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's incredible, man. We mentioned earlier drafts month away, man. You probably got all sorts of emotion, whether anxiety, excitement, whatever it may be. Um, for the teams that are kind of looking at you, looking at your tape, looking at, whatever it may be, what would you say, what kind of player is a team getting in Will Felicio, both on and off the ice?
Yeah, I'd say on the ice is like a two-way defenseman that's puck moving, good in the O zone. Takes a lot of pride in all three zones, and then off the ice, just a good kid that wants to get better every day and wants to win.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Awesome, man. I want to get into your early days of playing. Man, who would you kind of credit for getting you into the game of hockey? And obviously, when you made your commitment, I was looking through, man. I was like, holy shit, he's from Holden, which
Yeah.
not far from me, man. I was like, man, I gotta reach out. Like when you were growing up, did you play locally? Like who kind of got you into the game? Like, who was the one that kind of helped you in fall in love with the game of hockey?
It's weird. So my dad played in college. He played at Ferris State, and then he got drafted by the Minnesota North Stars.
No
But
way,
he never
dude.
he never had us play hockey until my sister begged him one day. So it's kind of my sister. I give all kind of most of the credit to my sister for kind of letting us play. And
Did you
stuff
kind
like
of get
that.
into it late? Did you get into it later?
Not really. My sister she's 22, so
Yeah.
he's older than me, but I think I started getting into it when I was like 5, maybe.
Okay.
And before I even played a game, I practiced with my brother's team. He's in 03. So I
Okay.
practiced with him. And then, yeah, I played for the Flames for a good amount of years. And then I moved to the Boston Junior Eagles, where Jerry Keefe was my coach
Yep.
and Jerome McGinley was my coach. So those were
Two okay coaches to have, I
yeah,
guess,
those
right?
are pretty good coaches to have it when you're 12 years old. But I think that helped a lot. And then I went to Mount for 2 years, and then I attended with Madison.
Yeah, like what did your kind of in playing for the Junior Eagles? I mean, we've seen some like unbelievable talent, most notably Will Smith just signed a deal with San Jose.
Mhm.
Man, what did that program do for your development? And then also, at what point did you kind of realize, like, holy shit, I can do this, I can play at a high level? Was there a certain age that you kind of like decide to kind of put the pedal to the metal and really take this seriously?
Yeah, I think Eagles. I kind of realized that they're really good development, and especially because having Drum McGinley and Jerry Keefe as your coaches certainly doesn't help you hurt you. But I think just going through that and doing all the skill sessions with them and just learning from people that have been through it. But I was still a kid. I was still 12 years old, so I mean, I didn't really know if I was good or not or anything like
Yeah.
that. I didn't really realize that until Mount, where I kind of knew I might have a shot of hopefully, going to college one day or stuff like that. Kind of taking it seriously and honing in on all the aspects of the game. But I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, what man, what was it like playing for obviously two legends? Like what kind of like I'm curious as far as like coaching style, like them who played had such, Aginla had such a long NHL career and now kind
Yeah.
of transitioning to like teaching younger kids. Like what was his coaching style like? And what was it like playing for him?
He loved like the skill game of it. Like he loved like guys like trying the Michigan and stuff like that and doing toe
Oh,
drag stuff like
he
that.
was into that.
Yeah, he really liked it. He
Okay.
kind of because we were young, so he wanted us to develop and gain all of our skills and everything. But I don't know. They were just like, go out and just play how you play, and we'll work on the power play and penalty kill and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, because dude, you see a lot of the old timers now like are so against it, and it's like
I know.
It's
Yeah,
like
he
the
loved
new
it. I
it's like
mean,
the yeah, it's the new wave. It's cool to see, like, especially a player of his stature who had skill, but also had that, like, he was tough as fucking nails, like, it's kinda
yeah.
cool to see that he was, open to the new wave, I guess.
Yeah, and you can see his son Tej, like he's
Oh my
unbelievable,
god,
and
dude,
I
he's
think
unbelievable.
like having him as his dad, I mean,
Yeah.
just how much he can learn from him and just how much he can teach is it's unreal.
Yeah, man, and kinda going back to your commitment to Michigan. One of the top schools in the country for hockey. I mean, they're in it every year. They have a chance to
Mhm.
take home a national championship. For the younger kids that are listening, younger than you, kind of at the point where you were at with the Junior Eagles, what advice would you give them as far as on ice training, off the ice training, and things that they can do to kind of put themselves over the top to give themselves a chance, to play high level hockey, Division 1 hockey, USHL?
Yeah, I think like just always having fun with it, like never dread going to the rink, and like always make sure like you want to go. And I think the second you lose that is kind of the second you're done, and just kind of finding a good balance. You know, you don't have to go train for 24 hours a day or go stick handle every chance you get. Like go out and play golf or have fun with your friends or go to the beach or stuff like that. Just like, don't lose the moments of you like being a kid and having fun, and just everything will come. It's a long road. So I think, put an hour of
Yeah.
work, put 2 hours of work in a day and have the rest of the day to go have fun, I think is a big thing.
That's awesome, man. I should have asked this earlier on. You had 3 great season at Mount St. Charles, which is an unbelievable play hockey,
Mhm.
team. Um, they've developed a ton of talent, yourself included. Guys like James Haggins, Sacha Boivay, like, just to name a few. I could go on and on all day. Can you kind of speak to what Mount St. Charles did for your development? Um, both, again, on the ice and more importantly off the ice?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, when you're around guys like Hagens and boys were at 24 hours a day. Hagens was actually my roommate. So
Oh,
we lived
really?
together. Yeah. So I think just being around those guys 24 hours a day, and you each want to get better than the other person every day. I think it's
Yeah.
it's good because you're fighting against each other, but you all love each other because you're on the same team. And I think it's just so good for your development. And I mean, when you're playing like AAA, you only usually practice on like a Tuesday and Thursday. When you're at Mount, like you can go to the rink at 6 a.m. before school, skate, come back for practice, workout. I think it's just really beneficial for developing.
Yeah, man, I should have asked earlier too, like your normal day to day, like in the USHL, um, like what are the differences as far as like the national development program? Because I think a lot of people get mixed up, like the difference between the two,
Hmm.
where they have that kind of split schedule. Like for you playing in the USHL, kind of taking that route, like what was a normal day to day for you?
So I'll do Waterloo. Like Waterloo, I had to get to the rink, I think, like 8:45, and then it was like stretching, warm up, practice, and then practice like an hour, and then we
Okay,
get off. We'd either go to like on a Monday, we'd get like tropical smoothie cafe, and then we go to workout for an
bomb.
hour. Yeah, it's
What
good.
what's your go to order, man? That's funny
It's
you say that. I literally just had that yesterday.
sunrise, sunset is what I'd get.
Hell yes, dude. Let's go.
Good on.
Yep. Let's go.
And then like a Tuesday would be a school day, so we'll go to the rink same time, skate, practice, and then get off. We'll go get lunch. And then the guys that are in school will come back, do school for 2 hours, and then we're free for the rest of the day. Where guys who are in school can just go home and take a nap,
And you
go
and
play
you're
ball.
you guys are still with like host families, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So what was your experience like that? Obviously you're a kid, 17, 16, 17 years old. Like what was your experience with, going to a completely new household, your new people? Like what was your experience like with that?
I got really lucky. I got two really good billets, both in Madison and Waterloo. But when I was little, my family hosted kids from the Boston Junior Bruins.
No
So
way.
we had a kid play for who lived with us who played at Northeastern.
What was his name?
AJ Valela.
Nah.
He
Doesn't.
played a good like probably like 4 years ago, I'd say, maybe a little bit
Okay.
longer.
Okay.
But I think just kind of having them in the house and then kind of gave me a little teaching on what to do and everything like that. But then I got really lucky with in Madison and Waterloo. Like Madison, I was 2 minutes away from the rink. Like I could walk if I wanted to. And then Waterloo, my billets were on the diner, so I got free food whenever I
Oh,
wanted
there you
to.
go.
And yeah, they were awesome. They were great cooks, so it was huge.
Awesome, man. Listen, bro, that kind of wraps it up for us. I mean, we're at 11:26 right now. Honestly, man, I can't thank you enough. Taking the time on your vacation to kind of pop in and talk a little hockey. Um, Congratulations again on your commitment. That's huge.
Yeah,
Can't wait
thanks.
to watch you at Michigan. Best of luck in the with the draft coming up, man. Any team is going to be lucky to have you on their team. The only gripe that I have about you, man, is that I need to get you a different hat because that is putrid.
I got it for Christmas, so
We'll let that one slip. But yeah, man, that wraps it up. So I can't thank you again. Thank you enough.
perfect. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, man. Take care.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
I don't even know how to leave this.